421-point gain for the Nifty as it nears its lifetime high. Hello and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I am Agam Vakil. We have seen the Nifty scale 3.6% today after we had the outcome of the exit polls, and with considerable momentum, we have seen a handful of stocks, in fact more than a handful, advance by quite the distance. Let's talk about the large caps and part of the Nifty. Renewables Housing Finance up 12.6%, followed by names like Adani Ports, IndusInd Bank, State Bank of India, Tata Motors, Yes Bank, Grasim, all advancing by over 7%. There were in fact only 5 losers on the indices, and save for something like a Dr. Reddy's or Z Entertainment, there really wasn't much to talk about when it comes to losers too. On the broader markets, 9 gainers for just 1 loser. GE&T India, and of course up 18%. Reliance Power, Indiabulls Ventures, Jamna Auto, Triveni Turbine, ITI, Adani Green. Some very unusual names picking up steam, and we've got good gains coming in. Indiabulls Real Estate, Time Technoplus, Bank of Maharashtra. And as you can see, we don't see any of these stocks which are below 10% in terms of gains, at least as far as the top 16 names go. And on the losing end, we do have a little bit of weakness in some of these pharma names. So Dr. Reddy's and Jubilant Life Sciences to a certain extent declining, along with Cox & Kings and Corporation Bank. But again, the momentum is clearly with the gainer. Something certainly has changed in today's day of trade, and I'm going to get in our markets editor Neeraj Shah for his thoughts here. Neeraj, what perspective can you?
Who thought of this, Agam?
Yeah.
Everybody said that yes, we'll do well, but I don't think too many people anticipated such a strong move.
Yeah.
And now, at the end of that conversation, just one quick phone call after market shut, or conversation with our experts on the show,
right,
everybody's now saying that, oh, now that this move has happened, one wonders what will happen on May 23rd when the actual results come out.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a conundrum. It'll be interesting to see the FI number today in particular. For days now, we've had a negative number.
Right.
Today, the fact that the markets didn't fall off and in fact only inched up in the second half of trade might suggest that the FI number could be positive. The nature of the stocks which went up to Reliance, HDFC moving up 5-6%,
right,
doesn't happen because of retail buying.
Absolutely.
So one day, it could be the domestic institutional money too, but I reckon that the FI money too could be doing this.
Yeah.
It had come in on the expectations that post-Pulwama that there will be continuity. Now that the exit polls are saying that, that could well be the reason. But that puts us in an interesting spot, whether we go and eclipse that 12,000 mark in the next couple of days before the verdict comes out, and what happens post that. But I don't think anybody's wiser. Everybody's playing the game as it unfolds. I don't think too many people are preempting this.
That's true. Well, Neeraj, absolutely. Thank you for that perspective.
Thanks,
there. And of course, we will watch out for the next few days as we approach the outcome of the general elections that will be this Thursday. But let's talk about a bunch of stocks, and let's talk about the pharma pack. Actually, a little bit of a lagger there, and we do have some concerns coming in. And I'm going to get in Darshan Mehta to talk about that. Darshan, one stock stands out here.
Yeah, Dr. Reddy's. See, now numbers came out on Friday during the market hours. But the commentary and the conference call was after market hours, which probably didn't paint the best pictures. Now, a couple of things that you need to watch out for. Gross margin declined for the 3rd straight quarter. That was the biggest takeaway from Dr. Reddy's numbers, and that was negative. That's why the counter reacted negatively. The R&D costs were lower this time around, and that aided the margins, and the management is saying that R&D cost will move up going ahead, and that probably will dent the margins going ahead. The other thing was the US sales were weak. 1% quarter-on-quarter growth versus an expectation of 5% growth. That didn't go well with the market. Copaxone and Newaring, both of them probably may be delayed. Copaxone obviously will come in the next year. This will be delayed. Newaring, the anticipation is of a second half, but the street does believe that also could be delayed. Competition coming in drugs like Suboxone, in drugs like Doxil, and that is something that will impact the revenues of the company going ahead. And the capex plan is much lower, indicating that there could be potential weakness in the markets going ahead. So on those reasons, Dr. Reddy was down almost 6% today.
All right, Darshan, thank you for bringing us those details. So that's as far as Dr. Reddy's is concerned, and we'll be watching out for that. A mention on some of the other stocks which actually did see a lot of impetus, and well, a lot of analysts are suggesting that is because of the exit polls. So to case in point, we've seen some good gains in Indiabulls Housing Finance and Adani Ports, and it is perceived, along with something like, of course, the banking stocks, but it is perceived that because of the expectations of the government returning to power, the incumbent government returning to power, is why we have seen these gains coming through for these stocks. That said, let's also address two other stocks which have been focused today, and I'm going to get in Sharad Dubey to talk to us about the stocks which are on his radar. Sharad?
Hi Agam. The first stock is Soba. It came out with a really good set of numbers and it beat the street estimates, and the revenues went up almost 81% up, almost at 1400 crores. Now if you see the realty segment, that the revenues went up twice, and if you see what the reaction was on the stocks, if you can pan out the camera, the stock went up as much as high as 10% of the day and closed the day at around 7.3%. Now for the segment wise, if we talk, the contractual and the manufacturing segment revenue grew at 40%, while the Ind AS 115 implementation was seen for the company, and that is why it actually aided the top line numbers. And also the company had achieved its highest pre-sales of almost 1.13 million square feet at around 920 odd crore rupees. The second stock, Agam, I would like to point out is Shree Cement. It came out with an inline set of numbers, and the revenues almost 20% up at around 3,285 odd crore rupees. And one thing which we need to see is the margins, which have expanded by almost 300 basis points, with the volumes up at almost 13%. Now let's see the stock reaction now. What has happened for Shree Cement is stock ended the day at almost 4% up today, after the results came out in the post-market hours during the weekend. And apart from that, if you go through the couple of more operational numbers, the realizations per ton increased by around 23% to around rupees 4,225 rupees, while the EBITDA per ton rose by around 18.2% at rupees 1,102 odd rupees. So all in all, Agam, these two stocks did fare well, and overall the broader markets as well as the indices performed well.
Absolutely.
So it was a pretty good day for the mid-cap movers as well.
Oh, there's no doubt about that, Sharad. Thank you for getting us those details on those two other stocks which stood out in trade. So very good run for the broader markets in general. More gainers, in fact considerably more gainers in comparison to losers, and we continue to keep an eye on what happens to markets over the next 2 to 3 days in the run-up to the election results. On that note, it's a wrap on the markets. Lots more lined up. Stay tuned to Bloomberg.